Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the WNFC Game of the Week here on WNFC TV. Derek Diesner here with you, and we are coming to you live on the campus of Buckeye Union High School in Buckeye, Arizona for the 2021 home opener for your Phoenix Prowlers. Tonight, the Prowlers, led by head coach Joe Ramirez, will welcome in the fourth-ranked San Diego Rebellions, led by head coach Ninji Martin, who is also the quarterback for this Rebellion team. The fourth-ranked San Diego Rebellion come into tonight's game with a record of 1-0 overall. Your Phoenix Prowlers are 0-1 to start the season. San Diego is tied for second currently in the Pacific Division, just a half game out of first place, while your Phoenix Prowlers are currently tied for fourth in the Pacific Division. Let's take a look back at how both of these teams started off their seasons just a couple of weeks ago, back on May 1st. The San Diego Rebellion hosted the Seattle Majestics and defeated the Majestics by a final of 21-12 back on May 1st. The Rebellion then had an off week last week before hitting the road here this evening to face the Phoenix Prowlers. The Prowlers also began the season a few weeks ago back on May 1st on the road against the Utah Falcons, and the Prowlers ran up against a difficult Falcons team, falling in that contest 60-13. But you know, head coach Joe Ramirez took that bye week and was able to coach up his players as they get set to open up the home portion of their 2021 schedule here this evening in front of their home fans here in Buckeye. It's the Prowlers and the Rebellion. We'll be back with more of the pregame show right after this, with the opening kickoff just around the corner at the top of the hour. You're tuned in to Phoenix Prowler football on the WNFC TV Game of the Week.
Your 2021 Phoenix Prowlers.
Do you want to show a graphic? And if so, which one would you like to show?
I'll do the matchups.
Matchups? Perfect. Today's matchup, that one? Welcome back into the WNFC TV Game of the Week. Derek Diesner back with you here in Buckeye, Arizona, as we get set for tonight's matchup between your Phoenix Prowlers and the San Diego Rebellion. Well, as we continue to get ready for the opening kick of tonight's game, let's take a look back at last week's scoreboard. Again, both the Prowlers and the Rebellion were off on Week 2 after playing in Week 1 back on May 1st. Last week, Week 2 of the season, there was a lot of action, and let's take a look at those Week 2 final scores. We see the Utah Falcons start the season a perfect 2-0, defeating the Denver Bandits 46-19. So the Falcons team scoring 60 points in their first game of the year and scoring another 46 in Week 2. They are going to be a tough team to be reckoned with. Some other scores from around the league last week. The Alabama Fire defeated the Florida Avengers by a final of 49-0. The Philadelphia Phantoms defeated the Carolina Queens 24-0. Texas Elite shut out Kansas City 48-0. Oregon over Los Angeles 28-12. Mississippi fell to Atlanta 34-6. And Houston defeated Nebraska by a final of 35-0. That was the Week 2 scores across the WNFC as we look ahead to Week 3 and looking at the matchups across the league. Now, some of these games have already been played or are currently underway here in the WNFC, but taking a look at this week's games, earlier today, the Florida Avengers were traveling to Carolina to take on the Queens, while the Atlanta Phoenix visited the Washington Prodigy. The Utah Falcons travel to face the Las Vegas Silver Stars. Those two teams are currently underway. The San Diego Rebellion, obviously here against Phoenix. LA is taking on the La Muerte DLC out of New Mexico, and Oregon travels up to Seattle later tonight. At this time, we are going to pause for the singing of our national anthem. That was the national anthem sung tonight by Hannah Meldrum here at Buckeye Union High School as the team captains for both teams get set to head to midfield for the opening coin toss. The team captains tonight for your Phoenix Prowlers are quarterback Danielle Harrison, wide receiver Nicole Valorino, defensive lineman Tori Hernandez, and the game day captains joining her is Kenya Wallace. Team captains are Melanie Zaragoza, Anaya Martinez, Jasmine Martinez, Z, and Elena Ibarra from the Arizona Fire Dogs Youth Tackle Football League.
Number 41, Katie Ott. And
Well, we're about 8 minutes away from the opening kick here tonight between the Prowlers and the Rebellions. Let's take a look at the Week 3 WNFC standings. And taking a look at those Week 3 standings, we see the Texas Elite Spartans, the Alabama Fire, and the Philadelphia Phantoms all at the top of that list at 2-0. The Washington Prodigy right behind them at 1-0 on the season, that being in the Atlantic Division. Over in this Pacific Division, we talked about the Utah Falcons, who picked up another win last week after defeating this Phoenix Prowler team in Week 1 to go to a perfect 2-0. Right behind them, you have the Las Vegas Silver Stars, these Rebellion from San Diego, the Las Cruces La Muerta. They are all sitting at 1-0 currently, and then you have the Oregon Ravens, who are at 1-1. Seattle, Los Angeles, Denver, and your Phoenix Prowlers all in search of their first victory of the season, and no better time for the Prowlers to get a victory than in their home opener here in 2021 with the Rebellion in town. Again, the Rebellion currently ranked 4th in the WNFC. Your Phoenix Prowlers are currently ranked 15th. They moved down 2 spots. They were at 13, but they moved down to 15th in the league currently. Number 1 overall is the Texas Elite Spartans with the Utah Falcons right behind them. I have a feeling those two teams will be duking it out for 1 and 2 throughout this season. San Diego currently 5th in the rankings, and Nebraska is all the way down at number 20. Phoenix looking to climb, and a win tonight could do that for them, as Denver is just above them and Seattle above that, but both of those teams are trending in the wrong direction. So Phoenix looking to crawl up those standings week by week. Referees are meeting currently at home field as we get set for the opening kickoff between the Rebellion and the Prowlers. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the opening kick right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on the WNFC TV.
Yeah, sorry. Give me 1 second. Vince, is he doing interviews after? Yeah, well, he's supposed to do them pre-game. I mean, he can't be sitting around asking us. He's got to grab them and do it. He's got 5 minutes before kickoff, so I guess not now. All right, never mind. Sorry, guys.
See if he can grab a coach real quick. Huh?
Okay, yeah, try to grab a coach from the Prowlers really quick.
Okay,
and
hold on,
try to do just a quick
all right.
Q&A. Okay.
Which camera? Where do I look? Where
We
do
have
you
a
want me to look?
sideline recorder right here, zoom in on it. I'll let you know when we go to. Hang on. Camera to the sideline of the Prowlers. We have our sideline recorder. Yep. Down a little bit, camera 2. Lopez, I think that's you. Camera 2. Down. On the sideline. There you go. Yep. Yep. Just like that. Make sure you get their torsos in frame. Headspace good. Okay. We're gonna go down to you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Real quick, Coach, before we kick things off here, just, you guys lost 60-13 a couple weeks ago to Utah. How do you avoid that this week?
We worked on a lot of fundamentals and techniques during the 2 weeks we had to prepare, and we watched a lot of film. My girls are ready.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck out there.
All right, thank you so much. That was Jesse Morrison down on the sidelines with head coach Joe Ramirez of your Phoenix Prowlers, and we are underway as the Prowlers kicked it off to the Rebellion, and a nice return on the short kick as the Rebellion will start with it right at the 50-yard line to get things going here this evening. The San Diego Rebellion are led by their head coach, owner, and quarterback, Ninji Martin. will set the offense for you as Martin will have a couple of tailbacks she works with in Adriana Gutierrez and Brianna Gorell in the backfield. Her wide receivers are Samantha Heck, Catherine Claxton, and Katie Ott. San Diego in their road white tops and navy blue bottoms. They have red trim, letters and numbers in red outlined in navy blue, and your Phoenix Prowlers are in their gray tops, black bottoms, trim in purple, letters and numbers in purple outlined in white. Carey stopped in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss. That'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Rebellion. A good defensive play for the Prowlers to start things off here this evening. We'll see sun be a factor for maybe this first quarter of play before it sets there in the west. And the lights have already been turned on here at Buckeye Union High School. 3 receivers to the near side, and we've got some activity up front. I believe we'll see who this is going against, if it's going to be a false start or an offsides. We'll see who drew who. Referees will convene. And it is going to go against the Prowlers. So this will make it 2nd down and 7 for San Diego as they move the ball into Prowlers territory now with that penalty. On 2nd down and short, wide open right down the middle of the field, inside the 15, taken down at the 10-yard line was Katie Ott on the reception. Ott came into today's game with just 1 reception for 4 yards, and she picked up a lot on that reception. That'll set up the Rebellion inside the 20, a minute and a half into this contest. First down and 10. Ball spotted just outside the 10-yard line. Looks like it's around the 12. Out of the gun is Ninji Martin. Martin will roll to the far side. She's going to tuck it and run. She makes a cut in, and she'll walk it into the end zone for 6. And San Diego strikes first and leads this ball game by a score of 6-0. That is the 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Ninji Martin.
Well, then I don't have OBS open.
You've got the switcher. OBS is fine.
Coming in to attempt the PAT is number 4, Jennifer Strother. Strother coming into tonight is a perfect 3 of 3 for PATs. Ninji Martin will hold. Snap down, hold down, kick is up. And that is good. San Diego leads it by a score of 7-0. We'll take a break and be right back as the Prowlers will get the ball for the first time this evening. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Welcome back onto the campus of Buckeye Union High School. Derek Diesner back here with you as getting set to boot this one deep is number 27, Adriana Gutierrez. And the Prowlers will get the ball for the first time this evening. Short kick kind of dies around the 35-yard line. It'll be picked up, and the ball carrier is taken down. She'll be spotted at the 40-yard line, so good starting field position for the Prowlers on their first offensive possession of the game here this evening. The Prowlers will come out, led by head coach Danielle Harrison. Let's set the offense for you for the Phoenix Prowlers. In the backfield will be running backs Chelsea Arnwine and Jasmine Thomas. Wide receivers Kentrina Wilson, Nicole Villarino, and Brooklyn Waddles. San Diego Rebellion defense is a 3-4 defense. Up front will be Angela Mims, Felicia Lilo, and Bree Gorell. The linebackers Stephanie Lopez, Tyler Mercedes, Cash Nguyen. And some of the secondary to look out for is Ashley Austin Bean, Nataki Romero, and Taranisha Taylor. First down and 10 for the Prowlers at the 40. Danielle Harrison will work out of the gun, trips up top. Harrison will have her tailback, Chelsea Arnwine, with her in the backfield. Whistles before the play even gets started. We've got a delay of game going against the Phoenix Prowlers. That'll back them up. So not the start head coach Joe Ramirez had planned for his Phoenix Prowlers. The Rebellion were able to attack early in this game, get on the scoreboard in the first minute 30, and now on the first offensive possession, Phoenix having a tough time getting going. 10-10 on the clock here in this first quarter of play, 7-0 our score. Prowlers will now have it. First and 15, ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Harrison out of the gun. Trips to the far side. Interesting formation for the Prowlers. Almost reminds you of something you would see in arena football. They're going to send it out in the far side and stop dead in her tracks. Was the wide receiver,
42, Bianca Corral on the reception.
Bianca Corral.
Second down.
I'll bring up second and long for the Prowlers. A windy night here in Buckeye. Sun is beginning to set in the west. Temperatures in the 90s throughout the day today. Quarterback Danielle Harrison out of the gun. Again, trips up top. A low snap, and she's going to have to fall on this. I believe the center snapped it right off of her leg, and Harrison had nothing to do but fall on it. Looking at Danielle Harrison's numbers coming into tonight, she is 6 of 20 passing for 47 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. She's also ran the ball 4 times for 0 yards. About 8.5 minutes to play in this first quarter. San Diego leading Phoenix by a score of 7-0. Third down and 20 for the Prowlers. Harrison will work under center after that last snap out of the shotgun did not go as planned. She'll flip it back to her tailback, who fumbles it, and who's got it? It looks like the Prowlers got the possession back, but that'll bring up 4th and forever, and Phoenix will be forced to punt this ball away. Phoenix just unable to gain any positive momentum on this first possession. The first play started with a penalty, and they've just moved back since. On 4th down and 20, clock running, under 8 minutes to go in this first quarter of play. The Prowlers look like they'll run a play play as Danielle Harrison will drop back. She'll pitch it back to the tailback, trying to get around the edge, and she's going to be dragged down from behind at about the 17-yard line. Great starting field position for the San Diego Rebellion, who already lead this Prowler team 7-0. So the Rebellion, led by quarterback Ninji Martin, who got her third rushing touchdown of the season just a minute and a half into this ball game, will lead her offense back out onto the field. And this Rebellion team has a lot of weapons with Gutierrez and Garrell in the backfield. The wide receivers, Heck, Claxton, and Ott. And we saw Ott with a big play right down the seam early in this game. They'll give it off to Gutierrez, who tries to work the far side of the field. Prowlers sniff out that run. First tackler couldn't wrap her up and take her down. Second one gets her down. It looks like no gain on the play, maybe a loss of a yard. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Both of these teams do like to run the ball, so we are going to see that clock moving for most of the game here this evening. On 2nd and 11, trips to the near side, one up top. Gutierrez in the backfield with Ninji Martin. Martin out of the gun. Two-step drop. She'll look down the seam. She's got her receiver open for the touchdown. Samantha Heck with her first touchdown catch of the season. That is the first passing touchdown of the season for Ninji Martin. And the San Diego Rebellion lead 13-0 with 6.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter of play. Kicker Jennifer Strolder will come on to attempt the PAT. She's already a perfect 4 for 4 this season, looking to make it 5 for 5. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and that is good. 14-0 Rebellion lead. 6:28 to go in this first quarter of play. We'll take a break and be back with more action of the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Fourteen to nothing, the Rebellion lead the Phoenix Prowlers. Derek Diesner back with you here on the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Prowlers have a tough time getting this ball and finally having to just fall on it around the 37. It was bobbled on the initial kick. Then the ball carrier took it a couple yards, bobbled it there, and luckily was able to fall on it, and the Prowlers will keep possession as the Rebellion have jumped on the Prowlers early here. 6:22 to go in this first quarter of play. 14-0. The fourth-ranked Rebellion lead the Phoenix Prowlers. Again, Phoenix comes into tonight in search of their first win of the season after falling in Week 1 at Utah by a final of 60-13. Quarterback Danielle Harrison will get back to work for the Prowlers. This San Diego defense has a lot of athletes on it. You look at the defensive ends of Mims, Lilo, and Garrell. You really have to watch out just looking down at that line already, you see that they run a 4-3 and they are ready to attack the Prowlers offensive line. Ball carrier fumbles it. That's Jasmine Thomas, and she'll have to fall on it. A big loss on the play as she is taken down at the 20-yard line. Phoenix just does not seem to be having anything go their way in the early stages of this ball game. And we have one player that's a little shaken up and being helped to the sidelines. That's number 62, Cameo Monteverde, one of the offensive linemen for the Prowlers. So Monteverde is helped to the sidelines. Harrison gets the play call from the sidelines and will return to the huddle. Clock is moving, under 5:45 to go in this first quarter of play. Second down and 25 for Phoenix. One receiver split out to each side. Harrison under center. Harrison will give it to her tailback, who is taken down in the backfield for a loss. No gain on the play. Phoenix really struggling to try to get positive yardage in this first quarter of play. This will be one quarter to forget for the Prowlers as they look to climb back into this contest against a stacked San Diego Rebellion squad. Great crowd on hand here at Buckeye Union High School. If you're listening and you're in the area, come on down. It's not too late. 4:40 to go in this first quarter. Third down and 25 for the Prowlers. And you have to assume this will be 4-down territory. I don't believe they have a punter listed on their roster, and we did not see a punt earlier when the Prowlers were pinned deep in Rebellion territory. On 3rd and 25, Harrison under center. She'll flip it in the backfield, shedding a tackler, trying to work it to the near side, and taken down at the 15 was Chelsea Arnwine, the leading ball carrier for this Phoenix Prowlers team. Coming into tonight, she had 12 carries for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Week 1 loss at the Utah Falcons. That'll bring up 4th down and long for the Prowlers. And there was a penalty, but it was declined. So that'll bring up 4th down and 25 from the 15-yard line. 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Play clock is moving, or excuse me, game clock is, play clock is not. They will decide to punt this ball. A high punt does not go very far. It'll take a bounce at about the 32, and it takes a Rebellion bounce. It will now be downed at the 30-yard line. That punt goes about 15 yards. And it will be 1st down and 10 for San Diego at the 27-yard line. So maybe about a 10-yard punt after all. .324 to go in this first quarter of play. It's been all Rebellion to this point as the clock starts. Ninji Martin, yet again, will work out of the gun. She's got trips up top, one to the near side. She's also flanked by her tailback, Adriana Gutierrez. Out of the gun is Martin. Martin calls for it, gives it off to Gutierrez. Gutierrez slips one tackler and now is dragged down inside the 25 near the 22. That'll bring up second down and about 5 for the Rebellion. The Rebellion taking their time breaking the huddle. Under 2.5 to play in this first quarter. Martin out of the gun. And we've got a timeout called by the San Diego Rebellion. It looks like they just could not get on the same page with that play. We'll take one with them. 2:17 to go in this first quarter of play. 14-0. Rebellion lead the Prowlers. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. On second down and 5, 2:17 to go. Handoff to Gutierrez, who keeps her feet moving and is dragged down inside the 17. That'll be good enough for a first down, and that'll move the chains for the Rebellion.
Tackle by 45, Melody Villegas.
Under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. It'll be first down and 10 for the San Diego Rebellion from the 17. Gutierrez had 15 carries for 68 yards coming into tonight's contest, and she's off to a good start early on in this contest. Out of the gun is Ninji Martin. She'll give it to Gutierrez, who is taken down in the backfield. A good tackle there by number 50, Mara Lockhart. Oh, excuse me. She spun out of the tackle, and rushing in for the touchdown is Adriana Gutierrez. That's her first rushing touchdown of the season. I turned my head thinking that the tackle would be made by Mara Lockhart, but Adriana Gutierrez kept her feet moving, and she found a reservation for 6, and it's now 20-0 Rebellion lead with Jennifer Strother on to attempt the PAT. Kick is up, it's low, and it is good. 21-0 Rebellion lead. A minute 21 to go in this first quarter of play. We'll keep it here as we quickly approach the end of this first quarter. But we knew coming into tonight's contest that the Rebellion had a pretty strong squad, ranked 4th out of 20 teams in the WNFC. They're 1-0 this season, and they defeated the Seattle Majestics in Week 1, 21-12. A close ball game by San Diego standards. They had a week off to prepare for this Phoenix Prowler team, and then the short travel over here to the West Valley to take on Phoenix, who also had an off week last week. But in Week 1, the Prowlers lost big to the Utah Falcons, 60-13. And right now, the Rebellion are flexing their muscle early on in this ball game with a 3-touchdown lead here in this first quarter of play. A minute 21 still to go in this first quarter. So we'll see what Danielle Harrison and this Prowler offense can muster on this next possession. They are looking for positive yardage, and it has been difficult early on here for Phoenix. Getting set to kick it off is Adriana Gutierrez. She'll tee it up at her 35. Prowlers have a couple of players deep at their own 25 to return this kick. And it's going to be a little short pooch kick. And falling on it around the 43-yard line. So the Prowlers will get it with good field position. Now let's see if they're able to make it count and move the ball in a positive direction. 1:19 to go in this first quarter of play. Phoenix down 3 scores. Well, we know Harrison likes to give it to her tailbacks. Chelsea Arnwine and Jasmine Thomas both are trying to get things going, but early on they've just been running laterally. They need to make that cut and run north-south here. Their linemen are trying to give them some holes to run through. We'll see what they can do on this possession. First down and 10 for the Prowlers. Ball at the 43-yard line. The sun has completely set now behind the White Tank Mountains. Lights are in full effect here at Buckeye Union High School. On 1st and 10. Harrison under center. She'll flip it back. Her tailback was unable to get it. Harrison picks it up off the turf and then is taken down at about the 37-yard line. So another loss of yardage for the Prowlers, and this will take the clock under a minute in this first quarter. 21-0 our score. Prowlers looking to get something going here on 2nd down and long.
That's where I was thinking it was the range because the batteries are good. But now the thing is camera 3 will have Tyler. Is he too far out? No, he's right under you.
Harrison will work under center. A receiver split out to each side. Prowlers like to run the ball. They get the pitch here over to Jasmine Thomas. Thomas trying to work it upfield, trying to use some blockers. She's got some running room, and she is taken down at about the 37-yard line. So she gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up, or excuse me, that is what she got back to, the line of scrimmage there. So it'll bring up 3rd down and long. And that will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, the San Diego Rebellion lead the Phoenix Prowlers 21-0. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this on WNFC TV. has been moving the ball at will here this evening. First down and 10, ball spotted at the 49. Ninji Martin again to work out of the gun, trips to the near side. High snap, Martin gives it off to Gutierrez. Gutierrez works the inside of the field. Her blockers are really setting her up, and she is gone. Inside the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Adriana Gutierrez, that is her second rushing touchdown of this game and of the season. And she's got to be over 100 yards here today in week 1 in their win against Seattle. Adriana Gutierrez had 68 rushing yards. She has more than that here this evening. She pretty much had that right on that run. That was a 49-yard touchdown run. 27-0, 10:53 to go. PAT is up, and that is good by Jennifer Strother. And it's now 28-0. San Diego leads Phoenix. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. A short kick, and this will be falling on around the 45-yard line. So, once again, good starting field position for the Prowlers. But the issue to this point has been moving it in a positive direction for Phoenix. They've had a lot of mistakes that have hurt them early on in this contest, and we heard head coach Joe Ramirez kind of talk about it early in this ball game with our sideline reporter Jesse Morrison about the penalties and just really working on that in practice after that week 1 loss to the Utah Falcons. And unfortunately, this team is still playing a little undisciplined as we're seeing a lot of penalties early on in this contest, and because of it, it's hurting this Prowler team. 28-0 our score, under 11 minutes to play until halftime. Phoenix looking to put something positive on the board. I don't have the stats in front of me, but Phoenix may have 1 first down to this point. It's been a tough go of it so far.
Official timeout.
So an official called a timeout to talk things over with the linebacker. It looked like something was wrong with her shoulder pad, as some of her teammates will help her. And now we're ready to resume play. Under 10:30 to go in this first half. 28-0 Rebellion lead the Prowlers. Out of the gun is Danielle Harrison. Harrison looking deep. She's going to air it out. Pass is caught inside of San Diego territory, and then it's fumbled. I believe the Prowlers have it, and what a catch by number 14, Jocelyn Mendeville. Mendeville hadn't even had a reception coming into this game, and she's got her first one of the season, and a big one at that, to move into San Diego territory and really bring the fans to their feet here in Buckeye. First down and 10 for the Prowlers, under 10 minutes to go in this first half. And Danielle Harrison will work out of the gun for the Prowlers. 2 receivers to each side. Harrison will call for it. She'll roll out, flicks it over to her tailback, who is taken down by the one-armed tackle of number 54, Felicia Lilo. That is the second tackle for a loss for Lilo this season.
54, Felicia Lilo.
That'll bring up second down and about 15. Ball spotted at around the 46-yard line. Prowlers are in rebellion territory and looking to make some noise. They had a big play 2 plays ago, and then they were taken down for a loss. They got to get going in that positive direction yet again. Trips up top. Harrison jumping around. She's working out of the gun. Harrison calls for it. And now, was it a timeout that was called by Phoenix? Yes, it was. So somebody wasn't set. Somebody didn't know the play, and Harrison was jumping around yelling, and head coach Joe Ramirez will call a timeout to talk things over. 8:43 to go in this second quarter of play. San Diego leads the Prowlers 28-0, but the Prowlers are on the hunt for another first down and maybe their first score of this game. We'll see what head coach Joe Ramirez is able to draw up here in this huddle. Phoenix has the fans behind them making some noise after that big first down catch just a few plays ago by Jocelyn Mendeville, her first catch of the season. Danielle Harrison had only completed 6 out of 20 passes in week 1 in their loss at Utah. And after getting behind by 4 scores, head coach Joe Ramirez letting Danielle Harrison air it out now is to get this game started. It was a lot of running plays, a lot of play action, working with her tailbacks with Chelsea Arnwine and Jasmine Thomas. Now they're letting Harrison throw it, and you could tell she feels very comfortable back there in the pocket. Her offensive line is really giving her time to look around the field and find the open receiver. Second down and 16. Harrison will work out of the gun. She's got trips to the far side. Harrison will call for it. Dropping back. She'll dump it off to her tailback, Jasmine Thomas. Thomas has some open field. She's now going backwards, going back in the right direction and taken down. We'll see. They're going to give her forward progress, and they'll spot her down at the 43-yard line. That'll bring up third down and 13. So out of all that, she gained 3 yards. And a big third down here for the Prowlers. On 3rd and 13, Harrison out of the gun, twins to each side. She's flanked by a tailback. I believe that's Jasmine Thomas to her left. Harrison calls for it on the hard count. Looking down the middle of the field, she'll put it up in the double coverage and off of the fingertips and incomplete. That pass was intended for Chelsea Arnwine. That'll bring up 4th down and 13. 7:31 to go in this first half. 28-0. Rebellion lead the Hawks. And it looks like they'll bring the punter on to send this one away. I believe it's Jacqueline Moya is who check that, it is Uriah Morgan who is the punter. Morgan will stand at her own 45 to receive this. And a high end-over-end punt. This will bounce inside the 15, and it's going to take a few more bounces for a touchback. 7:06 to go in this second quarter of play. Rebellion will get a touchback and get the ball back up 4 scores. We'll be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. We've got a penalty on the field coming out of that break in the action. Prowler player coming to the sidelines. That's Cara Jones, a defensive lineman. And the penalty is against the Phoenix Prowlers. Is it too many men on the field? So that'll help out the Rebellion. Not that they need any help. 7:02 to go in this first half. It's now 1st down and 5 for quarterback Ninji Martin. Martin out of the gun, 2 receivers to each side. Martin looks, scans the field, steps up. She's going to heave this one down and leaves it short for her receiver, who was looking for a flag. But the pass was uncatchable anyways. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Rebellion. Clock stopped at 6:50 to go in this second quarter of play. Now fans will take a break during halftime. We'll try and get you some stats and prep you for the second half. As the Prowlers will look to make a comeback against this tough Rebellion team. 2nd down and 5 for San Diego. 6:32 as the clock is moving, and now we've got whistles. Timeout is called by San Diego. 6:26 to go in the first half. 28-0 our score. We'll take a break with them. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Welcome back onto the campus of Buckeye Union High School. We're inside of Olsen Stadium as the San Diego Rebellion lead the Phoenix Prowlers 28-0 here in the WNFC Game of the Week. Ninji Martin out of the gun. Twins to each side. Man in motion will get the flip on the end around. There's a flag thrown in the backfield, and taken out of bounds is number 14, Nisha Taylor. It should be a hold going against the Rebellion, which will help out the Prowlers, and it is. This will move the Rebellion back.
We'll bring it back.
So they will spot the ball at the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 15 for San Diego. 28-0 our score. San Diego leads Phoenix. Second down and 15. Martin out of the gun. 2 receivers up top, 1 to the near side. Martin's going to keep it and run. She's got some room on the far side of the field. She gets around 1 tackler. She's right at that first down marker, and she may have picked up all 15. She did, as they'll give her the first down and spot the ball at the 31-yard line. So the Rebellion get pushed back. They pick it up on 1 play. And they're back in business. First down and 10 for San Diego. Ball at the 31-yard line. 5:40 to go in this first half of play. San Diego leads by 4 scores.
Just like that. Great job. Good adjustment.
Martin out of the gun. Trips to the near side. One up top. Hard count. She'll give it to her tailback, Gutierrez. Works it up the middle, works it to the near side, just follows her blockers and is taken down around the 37-yard line.
Tackle by 37, Radisha Payne.
Right now, this Prowler defense having a tough time coming up with the stop on the Rebellion offense. The other thing that's going against the Prowlers right now is the clock. Under 5 to play in this second quarter, and right now, the Rebellion are fine with just picking up these small chunks of yards, keeping the clock moving, and just trying to hold for the final possession of the quarter. We know Ninji Martin can throw it, and right now you just have to watch out for that play action, because if she's able to dump it on the defense, look for it on this play as the defense is drawn all up on the line. Nobody is back. Martin's going to do exactly that. She drops it right off, and here we go for a big chunk of yardage. Tackled inside the 35 was Samantha Heck, and had she not been tripped up, she would have taken that to the house. That was an easy play call for the San Diego Rebellion. And we've got an injured player on the field. This looks to be a Prowler as an official injury timeout has been called. 4:12 to go until halftime. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebellion in Prowler territory. We'll be back right after this on the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. First down and 10 coming out of the injury timeout. Looks like everybody's okay. Ninji Martin out of the gun. She has 2 receivers to the near side. Martin puts it up, and the pass falls to the turf incomplete, but her receiver was tripped up by the defender, and flags fly. This should be an automatic first down. The Prowler coaches don't like it, but the Prowler defense took out a receiver that should have had an open play on the ball. We'll see what the referees saw. They're actually going to pick it up, so the Prowlers will take that. All right, so no penalty. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Rebellion. Prowlers catch a break. And a big one at that as they look to come up with a defensive stop here before halftime. Under 4 minutes to play. Stay tuned right before halftime. We'll check in with our sideline reporter, Jesse Morrison, who will speak with San Diego Rebellion assistant coach, Brandon Archie. On 2nd down and 10, Ninji Martin out of the gun, 2 receivers up top. Hard count. Play action. Gets it down to the tight end, and the pass is caught and dragged down from behind. Inside the 20 was number 10, Katie Claxton, but Claxton is in some pain as she was dragged down from behind, and she is grabbing her knee. That did not look good. We don't want to make guesses of what kind of injury that could have been, but when you see ACL tears on TV, that's what that looks like. And we hope that's not the case, as she is in a lot of pain. It might be her ankle as she's grabbing at that, but it is something with that leg, as one of her linemen was trying to help her. Katie Claxton, coming into today's ball game, had 1 catch for 4 yards on the season. She had a big grab there. And both team trainers are on the field for both sets of teams as they're going to attend to Katie Claxton. 3:14 to go in this first half of play. 28-0 our score. And the good news is Katie Claxton is able to get to her feet, and that is what you like to see. She is going to receive some help off the field. She is not putting any pressure on that right leg right now. And we hope that everything is okay and maybe it's just some muscle tightness.
Ball will be placed on the 32-yard line.
So coming out of the injury timeout, it should be 1st down and 10. Currently, the referees are spotting the ball at the 32. I thought Claxton had got the ball further in to near the red zone on that last grab, but they're spotting it at the 32. And the head coach is now even saying, I think that's not correct where they spotted that ball. A timeout is going to be used by San Diego as they're going to talk things over. Assistant coach Brandon Archie is pleading his case with the referees right now. And hopefully Jesse Morrison will be able to find some of this out at halftime and figure out what assistant coach Brandon Archie is discussing with the referees and what went wrong on that last play. But Brandon Archie serves as pretty much the game manager, as the quote-unquote head coach during the game, because the head coach is the starting quarterback, Ninji Martin. .306 to go until halftime, 28-0 our score. San Diego leads Phoenix, and the Rebellion are looking to put some more points on the scoreboard just before half. Wind really starting to pick up here out in Buckeye, but a beautiful evening as temperatures may have dropped now to the 80s. Currently 88 degrees here in Buckeye. So very nice for football standards. Coming out of the timeout, the Prowlers get set defensively. First down and 10. Ball is spotted at the 32-yard line.
If you're looking at it, he's to our right.
Martin will work out of the shotgun. Receiver split out to each side, make it 2 to the near side. Martin is flanked by her tailback, Adriana Gutierrez. Martin looks deep downfield, single coverage, and threw it to the wrong side. That pass was intended for number 9, Pinky Romero. A flag is down in the backfield. It's going to be a hold going against the Rebellion. And while a lot of these penalties have hurt the Phoenix Prowlers here in the first half, San Diego has not been squeaky clean by any standard. They've made some bad choices as well and had penalties go against them. The only difference is they seem to be able to dig themselves out of the holes that they put themselves in. Under 3 minutes to play now until halftime, 2:58 to be exact. And it will be first down and 20 for San Diego. They lead by 28, and they're looking for more here in these final minutes of the first half. Martin out of the gun, 2 receivers to each side. High snap, she gives it, she'll keep it, run it up the middle, and bounces off a few tackles and is taken down right at the 40-yard line. That'll bring up second down and about 17, I believe. They've got to get down to the 23-yard line for a first down. Clock is running, 2:15 to go in this first half. On second and 17, Martin will work out of the gun. Twin receivers to each side. And the entire Prowler defensive line jumps. And unless there was some movement on the San Diego line, the Rebellion are going to pick up some yardage.
Penalty against the Prowlers.
And they are. So that'll put the ball at the 35-yard line, make it second down and 12.
Repeat second down.
And once again, we see the Rebellion get all those penalties against them, moves them back, and now they're already moving it forward in the correct direction. That's been the real big difference in this ball game here this evening. The Rebellion have been able to counter when bad happens to them, when they are unable, when they have penalties come against them. They're able to move the ball in the right direction. Phoenix, however, has had a real tough time. If they get moved back, whether by a stop or by penalties, they can't seem to push that ball in the positive direction. And because of that, we have the result that we do on the scoreboard at 28-0. A second under 2 minutes to play in this first half. The Prowlers looking for a big stop here in the final minutes of the first half. Trailing by 4 scores. The Rebellion, led by quarterback, head coach, general manager, owner, all of the above, Ninji Martin.
Second down, Prowlers.
Martin out of the gun. On second and 12. Hard count trying to get the Prowlers to jump. They do not. 2 receivers to each side. Martin calls for it. She'll give it. No, she keeps it again on the fake. It looks like each time she's given it to her tailback, Adriana Gutierrez. Instead, she keeps it, pushes forward, and is taken down just inside the 30-yard line. That'll bring up third down and about 7. So a sideline warning to the Prowlers as the referees tell them to scooch back. 3rd down and about 7. Ninji Martin out of the gun. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 up top. Martin will keep it, and she is taken down in the backfield. A big defensive stop made by Jasmine Thomas. The safety, who also plays running back on offense, came up with a big stop, able to chase Martin down. And a big play upcoming for this Rebellion squad. We'll see what head coach and quarterback Ninji Martin wants to do here. About 1:10 left in this first quarter, or first half of play. It's 4th down and 6. Their kicker, Jennifer Strawther, has yet to attempt a field goal, and you have to assume with a 4-touchdown lead, you go for it here, and that's exactly what they'll do. Trips to the near side, 1 up top. Out of the gun is Ninji Martin. Under a minute to go in this first half. Martin looks around, calls for it. She's got it. 2-step drop. Looks down the middle of the field. She's got a man caught. Nobody there. And scampering in for the touchdown is Katie Ott. I believe it's Ott. And it was. That is her first touchdown of the season. We'll see what the penalty is. It could be coming back. And it looks like it is. Too many men on the field. Oh, illegal receiver, excuse me. So a rare mistake for the Rebellion, and that will wipe a touchdown off of the board. And what was 4th down and 6 quickly becomes 4th down and 15. They're going to spot the ball at the 38. First down is at the 23-yard line. 36 seconds left, but at this point, if you're the Rebellion, yeah, you'd like to score, but if you don't, you're leaving the Prowlers very little time and not the best field position to do much before the half.
On your feet, make some noise for your Prowler defense.
San Diego taking their time breaking this huddle, and they finally do break it. Ball is spotted at the 33, so it's actually only 4th down and 10 as they reset the chains. And now Ninji Martin looks back, but a timeout was called by the Prowlers. Boy, there's just been a ton of confusion. I don't know if the refs know what's going on or if there's really that many communication errors right now with the players, but you see the refs convening at midfield right now trying to get things straight, but I don't know if they know what's going on right now, because they really seem to be struggling with setting the ball and figuring out what down it is, where they need to place this ball. And it looks like a very colorful discussion happening inside the 35-yard line. 17 seconds to go before the half. 28-0 our score. 4th down and 11 for the San Diego Rebellion. It's been all Rebellion here in the first half. And a big defensive play upcoming for the Prowlers. They need a stop. They have yet to get one in this first half. Martin out of the gun, trips to the near side, one up top. She's got a tailback to the left side of her. Clock is running, under 17 to play. She'll heave it downfield. She's got a man off of the fingertips and dropped by Nisha Taylor. Taylor had a reservation for 6 had she held on to that, but she drops it, and a turnover on downs. The Prowlers will get the ball with 6 seconds to go until halftime. We'll see if they've got a trick play up their sleeve to try to get a score on the final play of this first half, but the big news here is the Prowlers stop the Rebellion for the first time in this ball game and avoid them from scoring yet again. A big stop for the Prowler defense to keep it at a 4-score game. 28-0 our score. 6 seconds to go before halftime. Quarterback Danielle Harrison will lead the charge for the Prowlers. Harrison will work out of the gun. She'll have her tailbacks, Chelsea Arnwine and Jasmine Thomas, with her. Now she's going to split out. Arnwine out of the gun, 2 receivers to each side. She'll look downfield. She heaves it up, and the pass is dropped. A good job by Chelsea Arnwine to break it up, as that pass almost would have been intercepted by a Rebellion player. A big hit was laid on, and the ball hits the turf. It was showing 1 second on the clock. Now it's showing 0 on the scoreboard, so I don't know if there's still 1 play to be had or if this is halftime.
That's halftime.
The referee holds the ball up, and he'll call it halftime. 28-0 at the half. And before we take a break, it's time for us to send it down to the sideline with Jesse Morrison, who is with assistant coach of the San Diego Rebellion, Brandon Archie. Jesse and assistant coach Brandon Archie are getting set on the field as these teams get set to take it in for halftime. Again, Archie serves as the assistant coach. Head coach is also the linebacker and quarterback of the San Diego Rebellion. That's Ninji Martin. But the person shouting out the play calls during the game is Brandon Archie. And now it's time to hear from Brandon Archie with our sideline reporter, Jesse Morrison. Jesse?
All right, Coach, a very good first half for your team. A little bit of momentum for the Prowlers coming at the end of that first half. What do you do to mitigate that momentum that they have?
Yeah, we can't get behind the chains. We got to cut down on the penalties, no holding calls, stuff like that. But as long as we stay in front of the chains, we'll be all right.
Katie Claxton, your tight end, looked like she banged up her knee a little bit. Do you have a status on her?
Yeah, she's banged up. We're probably going to hold her out for the rest of the game just because of the circumstances. Get some of the depth, some work, and let them get some reps and put it on tape.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you. All right, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Jesse, and that's really great to hear that Katie Claxton is doing all right after that nasty-looking hit late in that first half of play. Well, it is halftime here at Buckeye Union High School with the 4th-ranked San Diego Rebellion leading your Phoenix Prowlers by a score of 28-0. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a bit with the second half action between the Rebellion and the Prowlers. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Welcome back onto the campus of Buckeye Union High School as we inch closer and closer to the beginning of the second half here. And right now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Jesse Morrison, who is with Phoenix Prowlers head coach Joe Ramirez. Jesse?
Coach, a lot of penalties in that half, down 28-0, but a little bit of momentum there at the end of the first half. What was the message to the team in the locker room?
We made some adjustments on defense and made some changes at personnel, and now they kind of understand what we're going to do, and should be a different second half.
And what are the keys to getting back into this one?
We got to start moving the ball on offense. We have to generate some drives, get some consecutive drives, and put the ball in the end zone.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you so much, Jesse, and thank you to head coach Joe Ramirez at your Phoenix Prowlers. Phoenix on the prowl for their first victory of the season here this evening as they'll look to try and upset the fourth-ranked San Diego Rebellion, who come in with a record of 1-0 and lead this ball game by a score of 28-0. But the good thing for the Prowlers, they got that big defensive stop in the final minute of the first half, and were able to keep the Rebellion off of the scoreboard, and we'll see how they're able to attack here in this second half of play. We'll take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll have the opening kick to the second half between the San Diego Rebellion and your Phoenix Prowlers. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. And we're ready for the second half kickoff as 12 minutes are put on the scoreboard. 28-0 our score. The fourth-ranked San Diego Rebellion lead the 15th-ranked Phoenix Prowlers, as the Prowlers will start with it here in the second half and tackled at about the 37-yard line was number 1, Chelsea Arnwine. And that's where the Prowlers will start with it here in the second half against a San Diego Rebellion defense that has been tough to this point, pitching a shutout against the Prowlers. But Phoenix showed some momentum there in the latter stages of the first half, and they'll look to pick up on that here in this second half as they try to mount a comeback in search of their first victory of this 2021 campaign, led by quarterback Danielle Harrison, who has definitely fared better behind center here today than she did in their Week 1 loss at Utah. Harrison out of the gun. She has trips to the near side. She'll be flanked by a tailback. Clock is moving. 1:10. She'll step back, looks down the seam of the field, lobs it up. This pass is intercepted, but a flag comes in the backfield. The pass was intercepted by Katie Ott, the safety, but it looks like this play will be waved off, as I believe it'll be going against the San Diego Rebellion. I don't know if it's going to be a hold or what. And it will be pass interference against the Rebellion, so the Prowlers will catch a break and keep the ball. Danielle Harrison kind of just lobbed that one up into no man's land. A lot of people in the area of where that pass was going. But luckily, because of the penalty, the Prowlers will keep the ball. And it will be 1st down and 10 as they will spot the ball at the 47-yard line in Rebellion territory. So great field position for Phoenix. A minute into this third quarter of play. Harrison out of the gun, 2 receivers up top, to the near side. She'll look to the near side, drops it off, pass is complete around the 40-yard line, and the pass was caught by Jasmine Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down and short. That's what the Prowlers need to do here in the second half, just kind of take what the defense will give them. Small strides. That will get them back into this ball game. Good start here in the second half. 2nd down and 4. Harrison out of the gun. 2 receivers up top. 2 again to the near side. They're working with twins on each side, and this ball is dropped right in the breadbasket and dropped. That's the 2nd drop of the evening for Jocelyn Mendeville. She had 1 earlier right down the seam and dropped that, but this wouldn't have mattered as a false start is called against the Prowlers. That will move them back and put them back into Prowler territory. And it'll actually keep them in Rebellion territory, so they had already moved it. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Ball will be spotted just outside of the 46-yard line in San Diego territory. Clock is under 10 minutes to play in this third quarter. 28-0 our score. 2 receivers to each side. Jasmine Thomas in the backfield with her quarterback Danielle Harrison. On 2nd and 9. Harrison, 2-step drop, lobs it up, and this pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Nisha Taylor. Taylor still on her feet. She gets across the 50, inside the 40, inside the 30, tripped up as she'll go out of bounds around the 25-yard line. And the Rebellion will have excellent starting field position here in this second half. The Prowlers looked like they had something going, and Danielle Harrison throws her first interception of the season. And that'll set up the Rebellion here in the second half as they lead by 4 scores, and they're looking for more. That'll bring up quarterback Ninji Martin.
Tackle by 93, Chelsea Slater.
Well, we heard San Diego assistant coach Brandon Archie talk about it at halftime. We're not going to see Katie Claxton here in the second half after that knee injury in the first half. She's okay, but there's no reason to bring her back in this game. He's also hoping to bring some of the reserves into this ball game, so we'll see who all begins this second half offensively for the Rebellion and how long they'll stay in. Right now, it looks like the starters are all still in. Give them another score or two, and that could change. Martin out of the gun, trips to the near side, one up top. She's got Adriana Gutierrez with her in the backfield, and she'll give it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez works around a few cuts. She's inside the 20 to the 10, 5, touchdown. Adriana Gutierrez with her third touchdown of this ball game. And Gutierrez now has to be approaching 200 yards on the season, well over the century mark here this evening. And it's now 34-0 in favor of the San Diego Rebellion. On to attempt the PAT is Jennifer Strother. She's a perfect 6 for 6 on the year. Snap good, hold good, kick is up. And that is good. Strother is now a perfect 7 of 7. And the score now is 35-0. San Diego leads the Phoenix Prowlers. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more action here in the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Back on the campus at Buckeye Union High School, Derek Diesner back here with you for the WNFC Game of the Week between the San Diego Rebellion and your Phoenix Prowlers. It's been all Rebellion here today. The 4th-ranked team in the WNFC is taking it to the 15th-ranked Prowlers. 35-0, 8:20 to go in this third quarter of play. And a penalty against San Diego will move them back. They'll kick it off. Oh, they lined it up wrong. Well, that's not the first time the referees haven't spotted the ball correctly here this evening, so they'll put it at the 35, and here we go. At least it wasn't another penalty. We've seen a lot of that from both of these teams, and you know they hope to work on that here in the second half. A good return for the Prowlers, and taking it to about midfield was Jacqueline Moya on the return. And they'll spot Moya down at the 48-yard line. So great starting field position for the Phoenix Prowlers. So the Prowler offense will return to the field, led by quarterback Danielle Harrison. 35-0 our score. 8:11 to go in this third quarter of play. Phoenix looking to get on the scoreboard for the first time in this contest. The Rebellion defense has been tough here this evening, led by Mims, Lilo, and Garrell up front. That linebacking crew of Lopez, Mercedes, and Nguyen has also caused fits. Harrison will work under center, a receiver split out to each side. She's got one tailback in the backfield, and she'll flip it back to her. They'll work it to the near side. sheds one tackler, and then taken down is Chelsea Arnwine. She got to the 50, so they'll mark her down at the 50 with forward progress. She picks up a couple of yards on the carry to bring up second down and about 8. Phoenix just looking to get some momentum going right now, chipping away every yard they can get right now against a stout Rebellion defense. Harrison again to work under center. Receiver split out to each end. She'll pitch it back to Arnwine. Arnwine going to work the other side of the field, and this time she's taken down in the backfield for a loss as she was dragged down around the 43-yard line. That'll bring up third down and long for the Prowlers. Under 6.5 to play in this third quarter. Phoenix really running out of time to mount a comeback as they're down 5 touchdowns currently. They need to get something going positively on this offensive possession. Harrison leads the team out of the huddle on third down and 14. Ball at the 44-yard line. Harrison again to work under center. Harrison will give it to her tailback, who's wrapped up and dragged down at about the 39-40-yard line for another loss, and that'll bring up fourth down and forever. 4th and 18 to be exact. While they're down 5 scores, you figure they're going to go for it, but right now they need to pass it. Danielle Harrison, not really known for passing. She was 6 of 20 passing for only 47 yards in week 1 against Utah. But when they have allowed her to pass here this evening, she's looked crisp. She's not looking to heave it downfield, just looking for those short dink and dunk type passes, and that will work. You just chip away at the defense. Right now, however, you need a lot of yards as it's 4th and 18. Harrison again to work under center. 2 receivers up top, 1 to the near side. Harrison, play action. She'll roll out to the near side. Looking downfield, she'll set her feet, heaves it down, and throws it right into traffic. Almost intercepted, but the ball's batted down to the turf by Shea Gutierrez. And that'll be a turnover on downs. The Rebellion will get the ball right back. She had a good idea, but we've seen that a few too many times tonight where the ball has been thrown into traffic, and you're asking for trouble when you throw a pass up like that. 4:39 to go in this third quarter of play. It has been all San Diego here this evening.
Is located on the WNFC website at WNFCfootball.com/WNFC-TV.
And it looks like San Diego will keep their regulars out on offense as Ninji Martin will return as the quarterback for the Rebellion, so they're still not going to their bench yet. Martin out of the gun, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 up top. Play action, dumps it down to her fullback, who picks up the first down, and more taken down inside the 25. Ball comes loose, penalty flag comes in as well. Pass was caught by, I believe, Chelsea Parrish on the reception. Looks like they're spotting the ball at about the 23, 24-yard line, but the referees are talking things over to try to figure out what the final penalty call is on the play. There is a flag still lying on the field. at about the 27-yard line. Clock is stopped with 3:58 to go in this third quarter of play, and now all of the officials will gather to talk this one over. And now San Diego will retreat to their sideline as the referees continue to talk this one over. And it's going to be a personal foul going against the Prowlers. Another costly penalty called against Phoenix. And this is going to put San Diego inside the red zone with under 4 minutes to play in this third quarter. They already lead 35-0, and now you're just giving free yardage to San Diego. Not something you want to do, as they'll have the ball inside the 15-yard line. First down and 10. They're going to spot the ball at the 13-yard line. Ninji Martin will work out of the shotgun. Two receivers to the near side. One man in motion. Give it to the tailback, Adriana Gutierrez, who will cut it back inside. Looks towards that goal line. She's right at it, and she's in. That's her fourth touchdown of the day. Adriana Gutierrez, have yourself a day. 41-0. San Diego leads, and Jennifer Strother will trot in to attempt yet another PAT, her sixth of the day. She's a perfect 7-7 on the season. And a flag flies before any of the teams can get set. We have too many men on the field, or what could this penalty be? It looked like the one ref was trying to say false start, but nobody had been set yet. I don't know if these are high school referees or what, but it looks like they're kind of in preseason mode because they're still learning. And a talk with the holder. Holder did something wrong. Delay a game on the offense. They don't move the ball back, so it must be going on the kickoff. And Jennifer Strother will attempt the PAT. Snap good, hold good, kick good. And Strother is a perfect 8 of 8. It is now 42-0 in favor of San Diego with 3:36 to go in this third quarter of play. We'll be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV.
When to kick off.
3:36 to go in this third quarter of play. San Diego strikes again and leads at 42-0. Derek Diesner back with you, and a little squib kick is returned at the 40 and taken down after about 6 yards. On the return was Jennifer Lopez. And no, not that Jennifer Lopez.
Correction, 21, Chelsea Parrish. Taking off.
First down and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 45 for the Prowlers as they've got a big hole to dig out of.
46-yard line.
Phoenix will hit the road after tonight's contest. They only have one more home game this season. That will come at the end of June on Saturday, June 26th, when they will host the team out of New Mexico, the Santa Fe de la Muerte. Clock is running under 3:20 to go in this third quarter. Danielle Harrison will work on the shotgun. 2 receivers up top, 1 to the near side. Hard count. And now she's flushed from the pocket and is sacked. She holds on to the ball, but taken down around the 33-yard line. She had nowhere to go with it. None of her receivers could get open. And she got trapped. Prowlers looking to pass it, as we've seen a lot of run plays, a lot of play action plays. They try to allow Danielle Harrison to throw the ball, but the offensive line just could not hold up that San Diego Rebellion defense. And we saw Harrison running for her life. It'll be second down and long. They'll spot the ball at the 34-yard line. They've got to get to the 44 in San Diego territory. So they've got their work cut out for them. Harrison out of the gun. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Harrison dropping back. She'll try to dump it off towards the middle of the field, and she was not on the same page as her tailback, Jasmine Thomas. She's lucky that ball hit harmlessly to the turf. I'd almost have to see a replay on that, but that barely got past the line of scrimmage. That was close. That easily could have been a fumble, because Danielle Harrison was forced to backpedal the second she received that snap. And she kind of just lofted that in the air, and she got lucky there. Clock is moving. Under 100 seconds to go in this third quarter. 42-0. San Diego leads Phoenix. Harrison. Shout out the play call to her tailbacks in the backfield. 1 receiver out to each side. Harrison under center. She'll flip it back to her tailback. To the near side comes Jasmine Thomas. She sheds off 1 tackler. Flag is thrown, but Thomas still on her feet and now taken down just shy of the 35. Boy, was that a stiff arm. We'll see what the flag is, but that really got the fans to come to their feet. A great stiff arm by Jasmine Thomas. And it's going to be a hold against the Prowlers, so that's going to be declined, and that'll bring up 4th down. 1:06 to go in this third quarter of play.
It'll be 4th down.
The way the Prowlers were reacting, I know they were excited about the stiff arm from Jasmine Thomas, but really thought the call was going to go in favor of Phoenix, not against them. But that'll bring up 4th down and 34, and they'll bring on their punter. That is Morgan Uriah. Uriah standing at her own 20. She's set to punt this, and standing around the 50 is Ashley Bean for the Rebellion. And a timeout is called with 1 minute remaining in this third quarter. San Diego leading Phoenix 42-0. Again, San Diego came into tonight's contest 1-0 on the season, ranked 4th in the WNFC, tied for 2nd in the Pacific Division. Phoenix ranked 15th in the WNFC, tied for 4th in the Pacific Division at 0-1. Prowlers just have 2 home games this season, this one here this evening, and then at the end of June, last Saturday of June, as they'll host Santa Fe out of New Mexico. So the Prowlers will be known more as the Road Warriors this season. Fourth down and 22. And just got the punt off, almost blocked. This will be returned from the 35 and taken down around the 38. We might have a face mask coming, as returning that punt was Chelsea Parrish. And we'll see what the flag was, but I believe it's going to be a face mask going against Phoenix.
Morgan's punt was returned by Parrish. Tackle by Waddles.
It is.
Face mask will go
So tack on some yards for San Diego. And this will move the ball into Phoenix territory, as the ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line in Prowler territory with 46 seconds to go.
Rebellion first and 10. Ball is on the
Clock is running. We'll see if this is the final play of the third quarter or if San Diego will run one more after this. Ninji Martin out of the gun. One receiver to the near side. Two up top. Martin will keep it. She'll run to the near side. And she is taken down. Looks like she lost a yard. Maybe two, as they're going to mark it as a 2-yard loss. Ball will be spotted at the 49-yard line, but in Phoenix Prowler territory. And that'll bring up second down and 12 with 12 seconds to go in this third quarter of play. So that will do it, as we'll head to the fourth quarter. 12 minutes left in this ball game. It's been all San Diego here tonight as they lead the Phoenix Prowlers 42-0 in the WNFC Game of the Week. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this on WNFC TV. Back on the campus of Buckeye Union High School here at Olson Stadium for tonight's WNFC Game of the Week between the 4th-ranked San Diego Rebellion and the 15th-ranked Phoenix Prowlers. Derek Diesner back here with you. The Rebellion have led the Prowlers all evening, 42-0 our score as we enter this fourth quarter of play. Second down and 13 for the Rebellion as Ninji Martin will work out of the gun. Two receivers to the near side. Martin will tuck it and try to run with it. She is taken down in the backfield. I don't believe they're going to give a credit for a sack there, as she'll fall down at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 13, but it gets the clock moving.
No gain on the play.
So the Prowlers will hit the road next week for a Week 4 matchup. Both of these teams coming off of a Week 2 bye. They opened the season back on May 1st. Prowlers on the road, dropping that contest in Utah. San Diego opened the season at home with a close win over the Seattle Majestics, 21-12, back on May 1st.
Timeout call.
Phoenix was outscored in Week 1 of the season by 47 in that loss to the Utah Falcons, but they did score 13 in that game, and they're looking to at least get on the scoreboard this evening. They don't want to allow San Diego, one of their closest rivals, to shut them out, especially in their 2021 home opener. A timeout was called. We have 10:58 left in this ball game. 42-0. San Diego leads Phoenix. We'll keep it here. The home fans haven't went anywhere. They're still here, and they're making noise for their Prowlers, hoping to see something out of this Phoenix team in the final minutes of this ball game, final quarter of this ball game. It's been a great atmosphere here for the home opener for the Phoenix Prowlers, and we're happy to bring you tonight's contest. Again, we'll be back with you at the end of June for the Prowlers' next and final home game of the 2021 campaign. Just 2 home games this season for Phoenix, but I'm sure they'll have more come 2022. Coming out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Rebellion. Ball spotted at the 49, just inside of Prowler territory. Ninji Martin out of the gun. Martin rolls to the near side. She's feeling the pressure. She gets it off, and it's in and out of the hands of her wide receiver, Shea Gutierrez. That'll bring up 4th and 12. Fourth down and 12, ball at the 49-yard line. And it looks like San Diego's going to go for it, but this Phoenix Prowlers, the Prowler fans making some noise, hoping for another Prowler defensive stop. We saw a big one at the end of the first half, looking for another big one here. Pass downfield and right over the head, not even close to Sammy Heck. And that will turn it over and give it back to the Phoenix Prowlers right at midfield. So another opportunity for Phoenix to get on the scoreboard now as they get another big defensive stop. $10:20 to go in this ball game. Prowlers trail by 6 scores.
Prowlers have it 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line.
Good job, Camera 3. Camera 3 is live. We're going to stick with this Phoenix huddle until they break it. We're going to go wide. Okay, now Camera 1, you are live.
Prowlers trying to get on the same page here as the clock is running under 10 minutes. Quarterback Danielle Harrison shouting out to her teammates what to do. It looks like the near side receiver was well offsides. The ball was snapped. Line judge didn't throw his flag. Pass falls incomplete and will bring up second down. Prowlers got away with one there as wide receiver Jasmine Heath was lined off well offside, about a yard or two offside, but no call was made, and the clock will continue to run. Looks like it will be a running clock from here on out. Again, Heath lined up offside. They get her back onside before the snap, and this pass almost intercepted, but it hits the turf. Cash Nguyen almost came up with that interception for San Diego, and that's one of the defenders you need to watch out for this Rebellion defense. Coming into tonight, Cash Nguyen had 4 tackles and 3 tackles for a loss. Had not recorded an interception yet this season, but came close there. Third down and 10. Harrison out of the gun. 2 receivers split out to each side. She'll dump it off to her tailback, Jasmine Thomas, who is taken down just shy of the 45. They'll give her the 45 as forward progress, but that'll bring up 4th down and long for the Prowlers. On 4th and 14, the Prowlers will bring their punter in, so they won't even attempt to go for it here as Uriah Morgan will get set to punt this one deep. She's standing at her own 32-yard line. San Diego's got a couple of players back at their own 25 to return this punt. High snap. High punt lands inside the 40, but will take a San Diego bounce, and wow, it just stayed in bounds. I thought it was going to go out. It is down by the Prowlers at about the 42-yard line, and that's where the Rebellion will start with it in their own territory with 7:24 to go in this 4th quarter of play. 42-0 is our score.
Morgan's punt is down.
The Rebellion will trot out their offensive starters here, leading by 42 late in the 4th quarter. They may want some redemption after how their last few offensive possessions have gone. They were scoring at will early on in this ball game, but the Prowlers have kind of stopped them, and I don't know if that's saying more about the Prowlers' defense or if the Rebellion just kind of are letting off the gas a little bit. Either way, it's a great sign for the Prowler defense, not so good for the Rebellion, as they're going to want some momentum heading into their Week 4 matchup. They scored a lot of their points early in this ball game, and then they've just kind of sat on that lead. They'll give it to the tailback, Adriana Gutierrez. She'll pick up a couple, and that'll bring up 2nd down and about 8. Clock will move inside 7 minutes.
Tackle by Rodriguez. 2nd down.
Ball at the 44-yard line. San Diego in no hurry to break the huddle. 6.5 minutes to go in this ball game. N.G. Martin out of the gun. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 up top. Martin with the hard count. Play action. Dumps it off. Pass is caught by the tight end and taken down inside the 45, inside of San Diego territory. is number 21, Chelsea Parrish. Parrish has come up with a few big catches here in this second half. They're really getting Chelsea Parrish more involved with the offense here in the second half. And we kind of heard that from assistant coach Brandon Archie there in his halftime interview, that they wanted to go to the reserves. They wanted to get more of their other players more playing time in that second half, with the score being what it was. And we're seeing that especially there with Chelsea Parrish. First down and 10 for San Diego. Ball spotted at the 43-yard line, under 6 minutes to go in this ball game. Out of the gun is Ninji Martin. Martin, high snap, she controls. She'll look to the near side. She's got a wide open man, and through the arms of her intended receiver, Sammy Heck. And that'll fall incomplete, bringing up second down and 10. 5:34 to go in this ball game. So the clock will start moving again. San Diego will take their time breaking the offensive huddle. They're in no hurry at this point. And that flag came out of nowhere. Oh, that was a hard throw. Almost wound up hitting one of the coaches on the Phoenix sideline. And Phoenix head coach Joe Ramirez going out to have a words with the referee and figure out what the call was. San Diego will head over to their sideline to talk about things. Penalty goes... Was there a penalty or was it a timeout? No, it is a penalty, so it's going to go against the Prowlers. It's going to give San Diego a first down and much, much more, as this will put the ball at the 28-yard line, or just outside of the 28-yard line, with 5:11 to go in this contest. Martin out of the gun. Two receivers up top, one to the near side. They'll send a man in motion. Martin with a hard count. Gets the snap. Hands it off to her tailback. That's Adriana Gutierrez, who will cut it back in, and she's taken down around the 25-yard line. I tell you, Gutierrez has some wheels on her. She is a shifty little back that's able to work out of that backfield and work well in open space. She can catch the ball. She can run the ball. She's a do-it-all type of back, and a three-down type of back at that. Under 4.5 to play in this ball game. It's all San Diego, 42-0, and they're knocking on the door right now of putting some more points on the board against this Phoenix Prowler defense. Second down and 8. Martin out of the gun. Two receivers to the near side, one up top. They'll send a man in motion. Martin will keep it. She's going to tuck it and run. She's got the first down and more down the sideline, pushed out of bounds just inside the 10, and that'll set up first down and goal for the San Diego Rebellion. Clock now under 4 minutes to play. Phoenix should get the ball back, as they will desperately try to break this shutout. Right now, though, their defense is more worried about stopping San Diego from scoring yet again. They will spot the ball at the 14-yard line, so it's not going to be first down and goal. First down and 10 from the 14.
14-yard line.
On first and 10 from the 14. Martin keeps it on play action, rolls to the near side, dumps it off down to her tailback. That's Adriana Gutierrez, and she gets in on the reception touchdown, her first receiving touchdown of the season, and that now gives her 5 touchdowns in this game. What a day for Adriana Gutierrez. And it's now 48-0 in favor of San Diego as Jennifer Strother will jog on to attempt yet another PAT, her 7th of the evening. Low snap. It's controlled. Kick is up, and it's good. 49-0. Rebellion lead it. Strother now perfect 9 for 9 for extra points. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the final 3:15 right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Well, Phoenix is set to get the ball back after another score by Adriana Gutierrez, and the Prowlers will look to get something going offensively as they'll fall on this close to their own 40-yard line with 3:15 to go in this ball game. It's been all San Diego leading 49-0, but now the Prowlers have a chance. They have a little over 3 minutes to get on the scoreboard. Can they get that done? Again, this is just the second game of the season for the Prowlers. They play a 10-week season here in the WNFC, and it all culminates with a championship game in Dallas, Texas, later this fall in August. Leading the Prowler offense back out on the field is quarterback Danielle Harrison. Harrison hoping to get something going. Couple of dinks and dunks here and there, and you might have something. A late addition running onto the field now is Bella Rodriguez for the Prowlers. Clock is moving. 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. The 4th-ranked San Diego Rebellion lead the 15th-ranked Phoenix Prowlers. They're looking to keep that shutout intact. Prowlers hoping to get on the scoreboard. Under 3 minutes to go. They are taking their sweet time getting set up offensively. 3 receivers up top. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison with a hard count. She gets the snap. Play action. Rolls to the far side. Nobody's there. She flicks it up. Somehow somebody caught it. That's Jasmine Thomas, who just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But now looking back on it, probably rather have her drop it as they now lost 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and long from the 35, and the clock is moving as it approaches 2 minutes to go in this ball game. Been a rough start for the Prowlers as they're going to drop to 0-2 on the season and will now have been outscored on the year 109-13. Not the start head coach Joe Ramirez had thought about. 1:58 and a timeout will be called. The 4th-ranked San Diego Rebellion will improve to 2-0 on the season with their victory here tonight. We'll see if they're able to climb from that 4th ranking in the WNFC, while the 15th-ranked Prowlers will drop to 0-2 And they will now have the tough task of hitting the road for a while. Again, they will not be back home until Saturday, June 26th. We'll have that game for you right back here on WNFC TV as they will welcome in the team from our neighbors in New Mexico. We hope you'll join us for that. Second down and 15. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Harrison will work under center. Two backs in the backfield, two receivers split out to the far side. Harrison will flip it back to Jasmine Thomas. Thomas has some running room. Trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and she's pushed out of bounds about a yard shy of that original line of scrimmage. And we have an injury timeout as looks like a couple of players shaken up, one for San Diego and a couple for Phoenix. Check that. It looks like the Phoenix players were able to get up themselves, so must only be the San Diego player, and that's the last thing you want to see late in a ball game, especially like this. So trainers will attend to the player. We've got 1:47 to go. 49-0 our score. And it looks like they're able to get that player to her feet, and it is number 40, Sakare Young. She doubles as a fullback and a linebacker, and she's able to limp off the field herself. And we'll be able to resume action. It will be third down and long for the Prowlers coming out of this break in the action. Want to take this time to thank our amazing crew for the broadcast tonight. Our producer, Sammy Rivera, our cameramen, Gennaro Lopez, Tyler Hill, and Jonathan Sager, as well as our sideline reporter, Jesse Morrison. And all of this would not be possible without the main man, Vince Delizio, who is serving as our public address announcer here this evening for tonight's contest. Third down and 11 for the Prowlers. Clock is running under 1:20 to go. Harrison under center. She'll flip it back to her tailback. That's Chelsea Arnwine. Arnwine around the 40. Great stiff arm. There is a flag on the field as 1:02 is on the game clock right now, but we'll have to see what the penalty is. Based on the placement of it, you have to think it's a hold against the Prowlers. We'll see what the white hat has to say about it. A hold against the Prowlers.
Holding against the Prowlers.
And referee's moving the ball in the wrong direction, I think. Now they're going the right way. And this will bring up third down and forever for the Prowlers. Ball will be spotted at the 32-yard line. First down marker is at the 49 in San Diego territory. So Prowlers need big chunky yardage on these next couple of plays. Under a minute to go in this fourth quarter. 49-0 our score. Harrison under center. Flips it back Over to Jasmine Thomas. Thomas trying to work the far side of the field. Thomas still on her feet, trying to turn the corner, and she does, but she stays in bounds, taken down around the 33-yard line with under 30 seconds to go. Prowlers will have a 4th and forever. We'll see if they run a play or if they just call it good. Head coach Joe Ramirez is on the field. He's now slowly trotting off, but game clock's at 5:04. He gave his quarterback not enough time to get back to the huddle, and that will do it. Final score here tonight. The 4th-ranked San Diego Rebellion defeat the 15th-ranked Phoenix Prowlers 49-0. Phoenix drops to 0-2 with the loss here this evening, while the 4th-ranked Rebellion improved to 2-0 on the season. Like to thank our fantastic crew once again, our producer Sammy Rivera, our cameraman Gennaro Lopez, Tyler Hill, Jonathan Sager, and our sideline reporter Jesse Morrison. I'm Derek Diesner saying so long from Buckeye Union High School. Final score tonight, 4th-ranked San Diego Rebellion defeat the 15th-ranked Phoenix Prowlers 49-0. You've been tuned in to the WNFC Game of the Week on WNFC TV. Good night, everyone.